Hello and welcome to our Wednesday webinar series. My name is Shane Fisher, Elementary Digital Learning Coach for the Madison Metropolitan School District, and I'm so excited to be able to talk to you more about artificial intelligence and education. This is the second video in our AI and education video series where we're going to showcase another tech tool that you can utilize to get back some of your lesson planning time so that way you can spend more time with your students and less time fighting over and figuring out how to build a lesson. So you might remember from our last video, we talked about 3 different tech tools that you could utilize in order to help improve your lesson planning. In this video, we're going to take a step back. We're going to talk more about the large language model, but we're also going to talk about another tool called Google Bard. So just like ChatGPT, which is one you probably heard a lot of, Google Bard has the same functionality as ChatGPT and more. It uses a large language model that ChatGPT is pulling all of his data from, but it also has a Google search algorithm. You can actually pull in images. You can have Google Bard create images for you. You can have it reference new updated information, all within the click of a button. So come on, let's go explore. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look at the image aspect within Google Bard. Google Bard has just improved its capabilities to be able to include images. So for this example, I'm going to have it create an image of a flamingo in a lagoon with the sun in the background. Very picturesque, right? Beautiful. You can use this in some of your work if you want, some of your lesson planning. You can go ahead and use this as a bulletin board or whatever in your classroom space. If you don't like that, you can click generate more and bam, within a matter of seconds, you have even more images. I think that's amazing. It's incredible. You even get a watercolor image. That's so amazing. So Google Bard is more than just an image searcher. It also lets you be able to build out lesson plans. So for example, in my previous life, I was a K-5 Reach librarian, which means I taught technology to students kindergarten through 5th grade. And one of the things I love is programming. I love to see computers work and play with technology. I also wanted my students to learn how to program. And so one of the things I did was I tried to think about, how can I parallel something that happens in another class and bring it into Reach as a specials teacher? So what I did was I thought of the curriculum that maybe the 4th grade would teach. They talk about animal defenses. So I thought I would bring that in and students could create something in Reach class around animal defenses. In the bottom, in the prompt section, I went ahead and put in a prompt that I would have used. So I'm going to create a 4th grade Scratch programming unit plan on animal defenses. The unit plan should focus on empowering students to be creators, which is part of the Future Ready Librarian scopes. The lesson plan should also adhere to the 5 E's of lesson planning with activities that guide students through the design thinking process. The students at the end of the unit plan should have something created in Scratch programming application that they can showcase their families. Now, within a matter of seconds after I press enter, Google Bard is going to go ahead and pull out all of its references from the large language model, everything from Google searches, and it's going to populate right here on the screen. So bam, look at that. Animal defenses in Scratch, a future-ready coding adventure. 4th grade, science and technology is the subject. For time frame, 6 weeks. Within 6 weeks, our students are going to be able to program animal defenses and create some kind of program that they can showcase their families. Unit overview. It talks about the future ready scopes integration. Think, create, share. 5 lesson planning breakdown. Week 1 is engage. Week 2 and 3 is explore. Week 4 is explain. Week 5 is elaborate. Week 6, last week, evaluate. So students are going to be able to use all this information, create something that they can showcase. Google Bard goes further and creates assessments. So here, observe students' participation in activities, collaboration, problem solving during Scratch, assess their understanding of animal defenses through presentations and exit ticket reflections. Bam, look at that, exit ticket reflections. That is a key word that I can go ahead and utilize to pull some more information out of Google Bard to help me with that. You can provide scaffolds, additional support. It even includes technology tools. It also gives you some resources, Scratch website tutorials, age-appropriate online resources, future ready librarian, and this sounds great. Okay, but then you're thinking, what next? Now I have a unit plan, but I really want to digest this a little bit further. I want to break it down. I want to deconstruct it. I want to figure out what do I need to do in order to do this. So here I'm seeing Activity 1, an amazing defenses scavenger hunt. Students embark on a library research adventure. Okay, great. So how can I do that? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy and paste this. So I'm going to say create an activity that focuses on this. Activity 1, animal defenses scavenger hunt. I'm going to press enter. And again, within a matter of seconds, Google Bard is now going to create a 45-minute lesson around this activity. Now, of course, you can make a lesson if you want. You can say, you know what, make it a 20-minute lesson. Again, within a matter of seconds, make it a 20-minute lesson. Google Bard now has a 20-minute lesson on animal defense speed hunt, unveiling nature secrets in 20 minutes. So now it talks about 3 to 5 pre-selected age-appropriate books, so you can find those in your local library. Graphic organizer handout, which then again you can dig deeper and have it create that for you or help you figure out how to create that. Crayons or markers, clipboards, optional. And then it breaks it down. It tells you activity. This is the introduction, the speed hunt, the hunt begins, finding flashbacks, extension activities, remember, and within a matter of 6 minutes now, I've created a lesson plan, I've created an activity, and I'm ready to start encouraging my students to learn more about animal defenses in the classroom. Okay, and that's awesome. So now I have a unit lesson plan, I have an activity that I can utilize. What next? Well, let me go back to the image concept and let me show you an image that I can use in my animal defense lesson. So I went ahead and typed it in, press enter, and then again, within a matter of seconds, it's going to give you some image recommendations as well as some images. All right, so I went ahead and populated some different images. So here we have camouflage, so it talks about that. It's the stonefish. So these are images that I can pull up and I can showcase to my students what that looks like. Leaf katydid, Arctic fox, but you can barely see the eyes right there. Mimicry, the hoverfly, the harlequin coral snakes. Hopefully you're not afraid of snakes. Orchid mantis. You can barely even see the orchid mantis in here. So these are great, cool images that the students are going to love in my lesson plan. So I can just copy these images, throw them over there, and I'm going to actually have it create an image of an animal hiding in the woods. So the cool thing about these images is it actually pulls it from different websites. This actually generated an image of a deer hiding in the woods. Now obviously you can tell that one's not very camouflaged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it create an image of an animal that is camouflaged. So again, this is using that new image creation process within Google Bard to go ahead and create an image of an animal that is camouflaged. So as you can see, the bird is camouflaged with the branch. If I don't like that image, I can click generate more. It'll go ahead and give me some more generations. So the cool thing about Google Bard is that it is more than just a lesson planning tool. You can have it, you literally ask it anything. So let's say though, I find an image that I'm not sure of. Let's say the hoverfly. I've never heard of the hoverfly. I don't know where the hoverfly is from. Ask Google Bard to show me a map of where the hoverfly is located. It talks a little bit more about hoverflies. It shows me an example of where they're located up, as well as the hoverfly distribution in Europe, where they're in North America, specific species. It gives me more information about something that I didn't really know about that I can help show my students. It also gives me the ability to say if that's a good response, bad response. I can modify the response. I can share the response and export it out, or I can double check responses. A great feature about Google Bard is that when you scroll down below, you can see the search related topics. So you can see a map where the hoverfly is located, where does the hoverfly live, why is it called the hoverfly. Once I click on it, it goes ahead and opens up the Google search that shows me right where it pulled that information from. So I can dig deeper and start to learn more about hoverflies. I hope this information was helpful, and be sure to check back every Wednesday for our new Wednesday webinar video. Thank you very much and happy adventuring.